Mike, what kind of just value has this week been in terms of really kind of breaking things down with this matchup and trying to find things that you guys need to identify to get an advantage here?
Yeah, this has been a good week for us. Not just about learning about Phoenix and how to adjust to them, but for us to just practice, to compete against each other, to get back to our defensive principles, our offensive spacing, like stuff that we haven't had a chance to do in a long time. So I think it's been a really good and productive week.
It seems like your defense is really geared toward taking away threes in the rim and then forcing to the mid-range. They have a bunch of guys that can hit from the mid-range. How do you kind of account for that and maybe adjust with their skill from that area?
Yeah, well, there's adjustments we can make to adjust for the mid-range. Obviously, we're a team that's been built around kind of trying to make tough twos, but they have 3 guys who are elite at it, and at some point during this series, maybe even game 1, we have to adjust right away on different coverages, and we have different guys and different lineups we can throw out there that they can switch better and like-size matchups and things of that nature to help with contesting those shots.
Is one of the biggest improvements on defense that you can make is reducing your turnovers on offense?
I think that's a big deal for us. If we can get more shots up and stuff on the rim, I think it opens up the game for us a lot. Our defense it's so much pressure isn't put on our defense. We rely on it a lot, but we don't want to have to rely on it on every possession and feel like that if we don't get a stop here, the game's getting out of reach kind of thing. So our offense is going to dictate a lot.
Do you feel like a time when you can make maybe more pre-game 1 adjustments just because you had just played them?
Yeah, it helps having had just played them. I feel like we've been playing a little mini-series with them already, and we're the team that has come out with the L's and have to figure out something different and have to adjust, and that's maybe to our advantage at this point. We've got a lot of different things we can do, so we'll see what we come up with in the next few days.
Are players aware of how others view them from the outside, like especially when it comes to like playoff stuff? Like, are players aware when somebody's like, oh, that guy's winning the playoffs, or that guy's not the playoffs, that kind of stuff?
I can't speak for other players. I don't really care what people think too much at this point in my career, man. But for other guys, everybody has their reputations. Everybody knows who's won championships, who's been battle tested, and who hasn't been. So I think that's just the normal, info we get.
Mike, when you and Rudy played the Clippers in the playoffs in Utah, it's a similar, lot of scorers, dynamic for them. Why can this is a similar sort of matchup? Why can this one work out better for you guys in this context?
Yeah, I think our defense is predicated differently here than it was in Utah. I think we've kind of funneled everything to Rudy and made him have to do a lot. I think we have a lot of guys who take a lot of pressure off of Rudy and use Rudy as a tool here, and we have a lot of different guys who play both ends of the floor. Guys off our bench who can really be starters in different places and have shown they can play big minutes for us. And I think this team just has a grit and a fight to them. It's a little bit different than a lot of teams I've been on.
At this point of your career, just what's the sense of urgency knowing they have so many more cracks at this, and inevitably this roster is not going to be the same this summer?
Yeah, my urgency is at all-time high. I don't think there's anybody on either team that wants it more than me right now. So, I told the guys that selfishly, do it for me, man. Like, help me out. Like, meet me at my level right now, because I don't got long. Y'all got forever, feels like. But I reminded them the last time I made it, deep in the playoffs, like 12 years ago. So it's not a given. So you got to be taking advantage of the moments you get. And this is a heck of a team we have here, and a heck of an opportunity that we don't want to waste.
We've had a slight up. Go ahead.
What's this week like in terms of balancing the pressure of the postseason while also sticking to routines?
Yeah, I think basically you got to stay routine-based. There's you can be a lot of pressure for a lot of people coming up on these big games and national TV, all these things. But if you just stay disciplined and committed to what you do on a daily basis, it becomes a normal situation for you, and the moments aren't as big, and you just kind of be who you are and stay calm through those situations.
You've had a slight uptick in turnovers recently, especially early in the game. Is that just kind of like straining to get everybody on the same page?
It's a lot. A lot of it's been on me. A lot of it's just bad reads. But I think in general, as our starts have gone slower, I think our energy hasn't been there, so it's harder to create lanes, create opportunities that are more obvious for guys who have the ball to make easy reads. And we've all been susceptible to making those turnovers and bad plays. And I think I'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about my turnovers as well.
You've been ramping up this over the last month and a half or whatever. Like this year's, I was going to ask a lot of everybody defensively. Like no matter who you guard, it's an impact player. And what you have to do offensively, pretty confident where you're at. I'll be able to do that over the course of 7 games with their team.
Yeah, I've been really pleased with the work we've put in this year, and especially the weight room and conditioning and stuff like that. And that last month or so, really kind of tried to push it a little bit on both ends of the floor, score a little bit more, pick up a little bit more, guard a little bit more, and it's no secret I'm going to have to guard just as much as anybody on the court when I'm out there. So I'm capable of doing it, and I think I'm ready.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.